Jim, our next question sent via the Cult of Cornette Facebook group by Phil in Whitehall, Pennsylvania. I'll get right to it. Can Jim just come out and admit that The Undertaker was one of the biggest stooges ever in wrestling? The obsessive Vince loyalty and stories that have been shared over the years sure make it feel that way. And personally, I will never forgive him for snitching on Jim and ruining a New Jack and Bullet Bob Armstrong talk show appearance from happening. So, Jim, is The Undertaker one of the biggest stooges in wrestling history?
No, my God. And imagine how much territory that takes in, too. No, Undertaker was loyal to Vince McMahon. There's no doubt about that. And we've talked about that here with a number of these guys. And I don't blame him, and I don't, I can understand it when here's a guy who, in Undertaker's case for 35 years, in John Cena's case for 25 years, and some of these other guys' case, however long, he gave them a spot, he gave them a push, he made them more money than they'd ever dreamed of in their life, he made them international superstars, he's had a close personal relationship with them. And I'm pretty sure that they can probably see that his face is melted and his mind is whatever, all the things that have happened to him at this age. But, same thing happens to your grandfather. Unless you didn't like him to begin with, you probably feel bad for him. So I don't see Undertaker as a stooge for continuing to support Vince. And Undertaker was not a guy that went and told on other guys to get them in trouble or to take their spot away or whatever. Where I've seen Undertaker get involved is where he thought that something might be detrimental to business or something that the boss needed to know. And let's bring it out so everybody can talk about it rather than making any mistakes. And the talk show thing, for the people who might not know, is the week after Taker was at our Johnson City show where we had the and the Pikeville show where we had the match with the Gangstas and etc. He had heard that Bob Armstrong, the Gangstas, myself, some of the other Smoky Mountain guys were going to do a Jerry Springer show. And because I was with Vince at the time also, he said, does Vince know about it? I said, no, because I didn't really think about it. He said, he should know. And he talked to those guys. He's probably not a good thing you do it. All right. And then Vince called me and talked me out of it. But it wasn't like he was running around trying to get people in trouble. His was on a level of, is this good for business or is this guy fucking around? If he's going to be a problem, same thing as I talked about when these guys have pressure on not hurting John Cena because he's worth $50 million now, even though the monetary amounts were smaller. If this guy that we're about to push and other people are going to put him over is going to be a fuck up, we need to know now rather than after we do it, that kind of thing. So I think that is probably the only stooging that I know of that's come into play.
Where's the line that separates, the guy who is a stooge, who just runs to the office and tries to get people in trouble, whether it's Chief Jay Strongbow or whoever it may be, and plenty of people throughout the years. What's the line between just being a stooge and being a top star, keeping your boss informed? It seems like it would be a hard distinction to separate.
Well, sometimes you know it when you see it. You can't even say one, but it's sometimes even the boss might go, oh, Jesus Christ, I don't have time to mess with that. You think that's worth it type of thing, stooging. But it's one of those deals where you know it if you see it, you can justify it on a case-by-case basis. This was important to know, or what the fuck, I don't care.
All right, so I guess that's a vote for no. He is not the biggest stooge of all time.
Not nearly the biggest stooge of all time.
Jim, who's the tallest stooge of all time?
Now that... No, wait a minute. That might have been Plowboy Frazier.
All right. Well, we may return to this topic again.
But
in the
only
future.
only if Lawler was booking.